What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an all-new Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4. We are now on the 1st of April, 1948, and obviously we are continuing our conquest into the U.S. Now, unfortunately, I feel like we've kind of hit a little bit of a brick wall. The enemy, of course, does have almost 1.5 more military factories than we do. We have 258, and they have roughly 350. So we really can't keep up with the amount of military units they're producing. We are outproducing their, their naval units, as they only have anywhere between 22 and 26 units. And we do have a stronger economy than they do, but only by a little bit. We have 149 civilian factories, and they, of course, have roughly 130. So it is going to be a bit of a challenge. Their manpower is slowly dwindling, but if we look at our actual logistics, I mean, man, we are missing 80,000 infantry equipment. We're missing 4,500 motorized, 5,000 support equipment, and our modern tanks are just getting annihilated. So I think what we're going to do is, if we actually seem to own every single province, which we don't, I want these guys to move. They're already there. What I'm trying to do is basically build up some very powerful land forts. Am I going to make it in time? I really don't know. But nevertheless, let's take all 54 of these units and push them into these 26. And with these 80, all we're really going to do is try to hold this fallback line. It might work, it might not, but the idea is if we could somehow get better radar, we might even need to start building up some radar here inside as well. But what I want to do is hold the front line and then maybe, just maybe, be able to once again regain our strength. We're building some strategic bombers. We absolutely don't need them at all. But who knows. Is there anything else we need? We don't really want any close air support or heavy fighters. We are working on atomic research, which I still don't plan on using. Let's get better military police. Who knows exactly what will happen. Maybe I can remaneuver a lot of different troops. I really want to retake... We've now lost 2 provinces with some actual forts, so that's not good. I'm going to move all of you there, you guys go there, and you guys go here. Yeah, we definitely just can't win this. All we gotta do is pray that the German Reich begins their actual naval invasion, and they're doing just god-awful. Yeah, there's really nothing we can do. We're focusing on building forts, when in reality we probably should be building up better military factories over inside France and inside all of these areas. I guess we could try that. 1, 2, 3... All of these things will get destroyed in time. And I think I just saw a little bit of resistance, which makes me a little bit nervous, as we will most likely need more military police. Or better yet, let's take these 37 and remove them altogether and send them on over to France. I hate to do this, but we literally can't win this. So we are going to have to do a retreat unless I want to lose all of my units. And they're pushing in, don't get me wrong, and we're about to lose a lot of our actual forces. Japan and the German Reich pushing in through Mexico. Pearl Harbor was taken by the Japanese. However, it looks like the U.S. has retaken it. We are slowly losing a lot of troops. We now have 68 on our front line. The German Reich are finally pushing through, capturing radar stations. As long as we control the Atlantic, we should be fine, at least production-wise. I don't know. I really have no idea. All I was going to do was just build up more and more factories and just pray that that works. Unread naval convoys, obviously all wins. All wins on our naval battles. And we can unlock advanced rockets, though I don't really plan on using these because they do actually cost a lot of production to produce. Though they do have a lot of range, so that is kind of nice. That's actually one thing that I've still never really tried, using those rockets. But I know that they do cost a lot, and, they're really useful. if, let's say, you were inside, I don't know, France and needed a bomb all the way through into the UK. And I've actually never even used level 3 rockets. Let's compare the range. We have a range of 500, and then 640, and then all the way to 11,000 kilometers. This is literally broken. So I guess you could bomb from anywhere on the planet. This is 54, this is 54, this is 54. So really, they only get stronger and stronger, and the idea is obviously to just go ahead and bomb the industry, which I could do. Probably not that bad. All I would need to do is build a bunch of rocket sites, which I don't have either. And I could put them in, like, Puerto Rico. Yes, I certainly could. Or Jamaica, as that seems to be a lot closer. Or Bermuda, actually. I'm sure we could definitely get some, you know, damage going on. Let's take a quick glance. Do we have any planes here? Yes, we do. Our fighters. This is the range of our fighters. And these are the first series. Taking a quick glance. So, this is 1200 range. So imagine having 10 times this range. Talk about broken. So you know what? That is something we probably could start working on. The German Reich has invaded into Miami. I don't see any actual units here, so I'm guessing they died. They're trying to invade the port of Tampa. Is it going to work? I don't know. I don't think we can hold off, and I'm debating on backing out altogether. Let's go ahead and remove all of our tanks. And salvage what we can. And when we do come back, it'll hopefully be with a very relenting force. One thing that I do wish is I wish we could sort by units. I hate clicking all of these manually. It's just so frustrating. Alright, I know I clicked a few Mountaineer divisions. We should have 40 units of modern tanks. 39. Okay, not bad. And what we're going to do is send you all down to the Yucatan and Belize. And hopefully you can stay alive somehow. I need a field marshal. Giovanni Messi. All of our tanks are slowly getting out of there, which is bad news. Our modern tanks are slowly being built up. 140 days is all that's left. Still lacking a lot of support equipment. Even though we took most of Mexico, I don't think there's really anything we can do except try to help out the German Reich wherever they are. I wish I could produce more units of U.S. defense, as we no longer need any of these units. Let's go ahead, put on a motorized unit and a motorized unit. So this is exactly what they were before. And we're now lacking 6.2 thousand motorized. It'll be done in 92 days. We have 39. I would like to have 60 units, so let's build another 21. And we now lack 9.2 thousand modern tanks. 5.5 thousand support equipment, and motorized is 165 days. Infantry equipment at 373. Man, we are not doing well. I could try to hold up down here. Start building some forts. It's not really what I want to do, though. Don't want to do any repairs either. My number one priority is to build up my military factories. If we hold the line, that's great. I don't think it's going to happen, though. And we're missing 10 units. Ah, here they are, down inside Belize. And another thing that I want to do is probably put high equipment priority on all of these guys. And it looks like we have the manpower, but we don't have any equipment at all. Those will obviously be fixed in time. We're now down to 10.5 thousand motorized that we're lacking. Infantry equipment is coming through. I'm wondering if we should even, even build up a lot of these, jet tactical bombers. We're not really even using them all that much. I mean, don't get me wrong, we are using them. I don't even see any. We have 1.5 thousand, and a lot of them were up in the north, inside Chihuahua. I guess they're now down here and need to be evacuated. Let's remove... Okay, so we've got a lot of fighters. Let's remove these guys. And now we have 1,550. Another thing I'll do is I will remove about 200 jet tactical bombers. And now we actually have room and capacity inside the airbase. Okay, how long until our modern tanks? Still a long ways away, as we are lacking 8,425 days. Oh my goodness. Now, a lot of the things that we're missing is still support equipment. We are missing anything and everything. And our best option might even be to remove our plane production altogether, as I fail to see us actually using them. Now, we'll obviously keep our fighters. I'll probably let these keep producing for quite some time. And then immediately I'll switch over in about a month, maybe 6 months. Because if we take a glance, we're producing about 5 a day. So 1 more month would easily mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but roughly 150. Did I do that right? 5 times 30, 150. Wow. Yes, 150. Okay, but yeah, so we could have 150 planes, or we could start building up on our modern tanks, which we do need a lot of. We're making 37.5 a day, and they're being destroyed, so we're not really even doing that well of a job there. German Reich being repelled. They did land inside Germany, or, excuse me, the Germans did land inside Canada, and in a variety of areas. I just don't know the best way to do a naval invasion, and I think our best option is to actually gear up and have some units that won't get defeated. We are working on a lot of our land doctrines. Imagine if we had all the way through modern Blitzkrieg. We would have more organization. We would definitely have a lot better tactics. I think it would work. I mean, I don't know. We're trying our best here. Let's also go ahead and take a glance. I want to finish out these modern tanks, and then we will pump out some more motorized, some more infantry equipment. We're down about 50,000 infantry equipment, and it says it's going to be 320 days, so I think that's going to be another priority as well. And let's, I want to shift these up, but not now, I guess. Neo-Ottoman Empire has joined the Axis, and I'm guessing this is Turkey. Yes, it is. Is it any good? I guess we can find out. They have roughly 32 factories. Not bad, but it's not great. They have 27 divisions and 25 ships. So pretty garbage, but looking at the actual Axis, we probably could start trying to change Iran over to the Axis. I have a lot of political power, and we're not doing anything with it. So now if we switch over Iran, they might be of good use. And maybe we could even try to get Portugal. I'm sure they have a lot of industry. No, they really don't. 36 factories. Let's also go ahead, boost popularity. People, they are somewhat fascist and somewhat communist, but we're going to go ahead and try to boost their popularity. Now the reason why is I have so much political power and nothing to really spend it on. Oh, surprisingly enough, we should really go ahead and boost popularity with Brazil, but because the U.S. went and unlocked Pax Americana, they are already switching them to Democratic, so that's not really that great, and therefore I would waste a lot of resources, so I don't think I'm going to do that. We finished up another bomber that we didn't need. It had 3,500 range, so 1,000 more. Let's try to go with 5,000 ranged bombers, the Piaggio. And we are now down to 181 days of a deficit with our tanks, 41 days for support equipment, 91 for the motorized. We probably should start producing some mechanized, and we have some resistance to occupation, which is to be expected. So one thing that I think we'll do, I'm going to delete this infantry equipment. I might even delete this infantry equipment as well. And now that we actually have some extras, I'll probably start producing those mechanized that I really didn't want to produce. And let's go ahead and do something like that again. So if I could just add a few lines of production, we should be good. Let's destroy these jet tactical bombers. We're not really even using them. I don't even know if I want these fighters. Let's remove those because I have a surplus as we speak. And let's build up more and more mechanized. And maybe I could even destroy some of these motorized. And try to just get a very formidable force. Now, obviously, I'm going to keep some motorized divisions that are being produced because we need to support a lot of our companies. It's going to take 142 days for these motorized. And the idea, looking at our mechanized, we're going to need a lot more. Looking at all of this U.S. defense, could I go ahead and add a mechanized? In fact, I'm going to change this to mechanized. This to motorized. I don't know if it does anything, but I like to have my strongest stuff in the front. I really have no idea how it impacts the, the changes. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to save this, and then our U.S. defense is actually very, very powerful. We now lack 12,000 modern tanks, 328 days to produce all of these units. And all we really need to do is just stay inside the Yucatan. Should we build up some very powerful forts, it wouldn't take all that long. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to shift all of those to the top. Now the idea is if we do have to fall back, we definitely will still have a landing zone that we can maneuver to. Should I continue to build up the Yucatan's infrastructure? I don't know if it's really that important. We now have our better rockets. I guess we can get, once again, better improved oil plants, even though we probably won't use them. We're not even really building fighters. Let's go ahead and get light cruiser organization. 6 days, we're about to have even more recovery rate and organization, which I definitely need. And we are down to 58,000 infantry equipment. I hate to say this, but I wish I didn't delete those. Let's actually keep the production efficiency here. And then I guess our next priority is going to be infantry equipment. And I'm going to shift that all the way to the top of the list. Because yes, we're down about 58,000 units. But I think the idea is once we start fighting, we're going to burn through a lot more. Let's unlock Modern Blitzkrieg. We have a lot of infantry organization and more organization for our tanks, which is going to be nice. Unread naval battles, all victories. Unread convoy battles, mostly victories. The German Reich is slowly invading Nova Scotia and pushing on into Canada. Let's take a glance. The Japanese are trying to invade Florida. You would think they would invade Hawaii, but they've already invaded into Mexico. I don't want to push until we absolutely have the units necessary. We're losing a lot of manpower as well. We had about 5 million, now we're down to 1.45 million. Still losing a lot of modern tanks. It's going to take 305 days to get those back. And 364 days for our infantry equipment. But once we create more and more military factories, we'll obviously improve the efficiency over time. I wish I could speed this up, but we're on our maximum speed. And there's really nothing that we can do except hope that the German Reich does a good job. We now have unassigned divisions, which is the same as before. This one unit not doing anything. We also have resistance to occupation all the way down here. We could try to backtrack just a little bit, but I don't think we will. Okay, our forts are complete. And it's not really the strongest front line, but they are level 3 forts, so the enemy will have a negative 45% penalty. I could go ahead and build them up a little bit more. It just takes a lot longer, the stronger the fort is. Looks like the German Reich took the Bahamas. We used to own it. Now they own it. That's odd. Okay, it is now the 26th of September, 1948. And we are just behind on everything. 343 days for the infantry equipment. I don't even know if we really need this artillery. I think the reason why is some of these guys... all of these guys are mountaineers that are protecting the front line. Once they die, I don't think I'm going to be rebuilding anymore. We've got some light tanks. Maybe we could throw them on into the front line here. I don't know. We've got them. Might as well put them to good use. And we are now down to 1.7 thousand light tanks. Eventually, those will get destroyed over time. We've got some medium tanks as well. Maybe we could use those. It's going to take a long time for them to actually get there. Okay, so we're now out of medium tanks. And I'm guessing these light tanks are going to get destroyed fairly easily. A lot of our actual modernized tanks, we're missing a lot of mechanized, infantry equipment, motorized, and modern tanks. How long will it take for our mechanized to finally get there? 513 days. So not only is our infantry equipment a pretty big deal. Oh my goodness, this is so slow. Our economy just isn't where it needs to be. Looks like Venezuela is at war with the UK, maybe trying to grow however they can, even if it's just a very tiny province. Okay, atomic research has been unlocked. I kind of just want this playthrough to end. I hate to say that. But usually what happens is, you know, as the game progresses on and on and on, it's not as fast-paced as it used to be, and now it's drawn out and kind of tiring. Let's unlock the nuclear reactor. It's going to be 398 days. We are still working on the fire brigades, giving us organization for all of our tanks, which will definitely be useful. We're now still lacking motorized and mechanized. But I'm hoping as time goes on, we're going to get a lot more efficiency. And technically, these tanks are almost done. I mean, we could just throw them on down. I think I'm going to do that. And now these 39, or excuse me, these 21 will join these 60. And same plan as before, basically just make your way over and try to gear up what we can. Eventually, we're going to switch leaders. We're going to probably exercise all of these units to, one, not only get the tanks they need, but also get the experience we require. 9.2 thousand modern tanks. We are behind so many, 240 days. And from division reinforcements, slowly making their way over. So we're building up infantry equipment, still working on the mechanized, and I think what I'll do is I'll create another line of mechanized, seeing as we have the oil, we have the rubber, and we have the steel. We might not have the oil and the rubber for that much, the oil and the steel for that much longer. But modern tanks don't require that much oil. So that is something I'm on the lookout for. Some units have made it over, some have not. Still waiting for 21 to be thrown around. Okay. 452 army experience. Can I improve our modern tanks anymore? I probably can. They are the P45-1 series. They have max armor, max reliability. Let's get their range all the way up. Now they have a little bit more speed. The guns could be improved. Ooh, I would definitely like to do this. A lot more piercing, a lot more hard attack. Their speed goes up and their soft attack goes up. But I don't have the army experience that we need. We're getting close, though. So I'll probably go ahead and improve the speed of all of our tanks. See, we just don't need to do that right now. All we need is better guns, and we don't have that. I'll wait until I have 465, and then I'll start making improvements again. Our infantry equipment is coming along nicely, but very slowly. We're going to once again go ahead and build up more military factories. Inside a lot of North African provinces. I guess we could build them here, but they're probably going to get damaged. These can go to the bottom. Durango. I don't know where that is. I'm wondering if it's our, oh, Durango's way over here. This should be Durango. Yes, it is. Man, my geography skills are getting better and better. Okay, another research slot. I literally have no idea what to get, so we'll get military police. And we are now finally running out of manpower. That makes me incredibly nervous. Have these 60 units. The British Raj has capitulated. And surprisingly enough, we actually own a lot of the British Raj. I don't know why. But the only real threat that's left should be the US and Canada, Australia. Yeah, none of these guys matter except for the US. And they are down to roughly... I mean, they've got a lot of casualties, so they can't really have that many troops left. Alright, well, I guess we're going to also go ahead and end this episode, so thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you in our next adventure.